Hello friends, welcome to next tutorial in CATIA V5. So in today's tutorial we shall see the second part of the part design workbench. So in this part we will be covering the shaft and groove command, as these commands are also widely used in CATIA design. In this tutorial we will also see the Boolean operations, and we will also discuss why the groove command is not used in the regular design operations. So friends, please stay tuned with this tutorial. Before we begin with this tutorial, I request you to please subscribe to this YouTube channel if you have not yet subscribed. Click the bell icon for the latest notification of the videos on this YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and like our Facebook page, Mechanical Engineering Tutorials. The links are in the description below. So friends, let's begin with the tutorial. Friends, here we see the icon for CATIA on the desktop. So when we double click this, the CATIA software opens up. Now we shall move to the CATIA software interface. So this is the CATIA software interface which you can see here. So to open the part model or the part modeling workbench, click on Start, go to Part Design, Mechanical Design, and click on Part Design. You can enter the part name, or else you can just keep the default part name and say OK, and you can change it later on. So this will be the part design interface. So as we have seen this part design interface, it has the compass over here, which will depict the directions or the positions of these three planes, X, Y, Y, Z and Z X planes, and also the X, Y and Z axis. Friends, here we have seen till now that in the industrial design approach, the default planes are not used for the construction purpose, so we select them and hide them, as we won't be using these planes for our construction purpose. Rather, we will be creating our own axis system at our own specified point, so that any modification which comes in the future can be easily incorporated. So to do that, first we need to have the point. So I insert a geometrical set and just name this as construction, because I'll be inserting the construction elements in this geometrical set, and say OK. Friends, in the previous tutorial we have seen the pad and the pocket operation, and we have also discussed why pocket operation is not preferred over the pad operation. So similarly, in this tutorial we shall see the shaft command and the groove command, and also discuss on why groove command is not used in the industrial operations. So you can refer to the video which will appear on the top right corner as the YouTube iCard for the tutorial on pad and pocket operation, which we have already discussed. So in that tutorial we had positioned the point at the origin, but this time we will take a point at different location. Say the point is at 10 mm on X, then 5 mm on Y, and 15 mm on Z, and say OK. So the point has now come over here, and this point is not at the origin. So you can cross check whether it is at origin or no. Just double click on that point. The point definition dialog box opens up, and here if you see, we have given X as 10, Y as 5 and Z as 15. That means this point which has been inserted here is not at the origin, like what we had seen in the previous tutorial by keeping this point at the origin. I'll just say OK. Now on this point I have to insert the axis system. So I go to insert, and here I click on this axis system. Now it will ask over here to position the origin, and this time I'll click this point and just say OK. Before saying OK, here we have different options to place this axis system. That is, we can either rotate this axis system or use the Euler angle, that is specifying the certain angles here. You can position the axis system. But we will not discuss more about this axis positioning. We will have this standard axis positioning with X, Y and Z parallel to the directions of the compass which is present over here, and say OK. So once the axis system is inserted in the tree, we have the point, the three planes and the three directions over here, and with these as the reference, we will now have our model constructed. Friends, to construct a cylinder we have two methods. One method is by drawing a circle on this XY plane and giving the pad option like which we have seen in the previous tutorial. The other method is by using this shaft command, and we shall see how that is to be done. Say suppose we have a cylinder of diameter 30 mm and height 50 mm. Usually what is done is on the XY plane a circle is drawn with the diameter 30 mm and a pad of 50 mm is given. But here the approach of drawing a cylinder is slightly different when it comes to this shaft command. So now here we shall see the shaft command operation. So for that, first we need to have insert a body. So in this body, I'll now go to the positioned sketch, and we have also seen why positioned sketch is preferred over the regular sketch. So I click on this positioned sketch, it will ask for the plane. So I take this time the vertical plane. Either you can take the XZ plane or the YZ plane. So here I have taken the YZ plane. Now it will ask the origin for the sketch, and this origin I will take the projection point and I will specify this point which has been inserted at a different location from that of the origin and say OK. So here we enter into the Sketcher workbench. So I'll just position these toolbars so that we can use them seamlessly in this tutorial. So I've just positioned these all the toolbars and in the specific position I want. So it will be very useful for us to work seamlessly. So now, as I said, I want a cylinder of diameter 30 mm and height 50 mm. So for that, I'll go to this profile command and I'll draw a profile over here which will resemble half of the cylinder. Now this cylinder, I'll have to constrain it. So I'll just constrain these first with the geometrical constraint. So I go to this geometrical constraint and say symmetry. So the symmetry is done now, and I have to give the distance over here. So this will be now the radius because I have constructed the profile for half of the cylinder, and since the diameter is 30 mm, so I take this as 15 mm. So this 15 mm half radius is drawn, and this height we have to give it as 50 mm because we want the cylinder of height 50 mm. So this is the sketch ready. So you can just click and move these dimensions so that they don't move out of the sketch. To confirm whether the sketch is completely constrained, so you can go to this sketch solving status, and here it shows under constraint. The reason for under constraint is that the end point of this sketch are not constrained over here. So we can constrain these end points, that is by giving these dimension over here. So if you see, if the dimension is coming pink, that means it is an additional dimensioning which you are giving, and the sketch will be over constrained. Now if you see this sketch solving status, it shows it is over constrained because two dimensions are repeated here. So we need to avoid these over constraining of these sketches. So now this point is not constrained. So we shall see what possible constraint we can give. So giving the dimensional constraint, it will not be in the position over here to constrain it. So now I'll just do one thing. I'll draw a line over here from this point to this point so that it becomes completely constrained. And if you see, I have drawn here the axis line. So how to draw this axis line? I'll just undo this axis line and I'll show you once again how to draw this axis line. So if you see here, this is the command for the axis line which is below the line command. So this is the new command you are learning in the Sketcher workbench, and this axis line is used only when you are planning to make use of either the shaft or groove command with respect to the sketch. So you select the end points of this sketch which are under constraint and you draw that axis line, and by default if you see this line, it is a dashed line or it is the axis line representation. I just zoom in so you can clearly see it is a line with a long and short dash. This is what we use in the engineering drawing, so it is a standard. So while seeing this, my sketch has got rotated and I want to bring it perfectly on the screen. So I just click on this normal view, and now my sketch is parallel to the screen. Now if I see over here in the sketch solving analysis, it shows it is now ISO constraint. So I close this and exit this Sketcher workbench. So once the Sketcher workbench is exited, so I am now back to the part model over here, or the part workbench. Now for this I go to the groove command, shaft command, and by default it will take the sketch which has drawn. And here one advantage of shaft command is I can specify the angle. So if I specify the angle as 360 degrees, and here the selection is the sketch which we have drawn, and the axis of rotation is the axis which is drawn in the sketch, it will take, by default you can see here, the sketch axis, and say OK. A cylinder is created with a diameter 30 mm and height 50 mm. But there is some situation where you want to create a cylinder like with semicircle. So in that case, what we do is, instead of 360 degrees angle, here if I just specify this as 180 degrees and say OK, we get this half cylinder. Similarly, if I specify here 270, I'll get 3/4 cylinder. So this way I can have different types of sketch formation over here with the shaft command, whereas doing this type of sketch in the normal using pad command, that is drawing a sketch normal to this, you can consider a sketch in this particular shape is slightly difficult to draw. So in such type of situation, the shaft command is widely used. So now here I change back this to 360 degrees and say OK, a complete cylinder is done. So next I need to draw or obtain here a groove in the center of this cylinder. So for another method I can do is, I'll insert a body, say OK, go to position sketch, again select the vertical plane, say OK, you enter into the sketcher mode. Then here you take the profile and we draw here the sketch which needs to be removed over here. Say I want to remove this, I've drawn the profile. Once the profile is drawn, I need to constrain it. So first I'll constrain it with respect to the geometry, that is I apply the geometrical constraint, say symmetry and say OK. So once the symmetry is done, I'll go to dimension this. I'll give the dimension, I don't want 20, I just want this as 5. So here it has taken 5, and this should be at an angle of 45 degrees. So this is 45. And since this is under constraint, that is it can move anywhere here in the 2D space, I need to constrain this with respect to the vertical. So I'll select this vertical edge with vertical axis and give here the dimension. So I want this, instead of 12.5, I want this as 10. So 10 mm depth is given. So this is drawn, but endpoints are under constraint. So if you see here in the sketch solving analysis, it is under constraint, that is the endpoints. So close it, go to a normal line and you draw this line over here. Now if you see, this line is white in color and I want to join this line to this endpoint. So here we make use of the trim command. So in the trim command I click on this line and this line, so both join over there. Now even this line can move anywhere in the 2D space. So I can give this constraint by giving the length of this line, say I take it as 25 mm. So 25 mm line is drawn. Now this is completely constrained. Now for the sketch to rotate, we have to insert the axis. So go to axis and on the vertical you just insert this axis, exit from the sketcher. So you have the sketch and the axis inserted. So again you go to groove command, you click on the sketch and complete 360 shaft command, and complete 360 shaft is drawn. So here we have the shaft. Now I'll perform the Boolean operations, that is I take this first cylinder and assemble it with the part body. So this is done. I go to this body 3 and say remove it from the part body, and this groove is now done on the cylinder. Now if you see here, for body 2 as well as body 3 we have the positive operation done. That is, in body 3 also we have made use of shaft. Now what will happen when we make use of groove instead of shaft over here? So I'll just delete the shaft and I'll uncheck this delete aggregated elements so that the sketch will not get deleted, and say OK. Now I'll right click on body 3 and say define in work object. Now for this I'll go to groove command, select the sketch and axis automatically selected with 360 degrees, and say OK. Now if I define this part body, output will be same, but what has happened to this body 3? In body 3 we have a minus sign appearing over here. So what does this minus sign mean? Minus sign means that there is a negative operation done, that is a material removal operation done, that is using the groove command. So as I have said, when we are working in the plastic parts, the mold designing tool will not recognize the negative operations, hence the tool will not be designed with this particular shape of this model, that is, the groove will not be incorporated in the tool design. Hence, instead of groove, there has to be a shaft command, so it becomes a positive operation, and since the boolean operation is removed and the body will be in positive operation, this groove can be then incorporated in the tool design. So I'll just undo these and the groove will be replaced by the shaft, and if you see now with the shaft command, we have a positive symbol here on the body in this groove command. So here also there is a material removal, but this material removal is with a positive operation which has been done. So friends, this is about the shaft and the groove command. So in the next tutorial we shall focus on the rib and the slot command. So that's all friends for today in this tutorial, and in this tutorial we have learned about the groove and shaft command, and also we have seen why the groove command is not preferred and the shaft command is used and boolean operations are incorporated to perform the negative operations, because this final product has to be easily manufacturable and the tool design or the mold design software will not recognize the negative operations or the body with a negative sign. So for that reason we have used the shaft command also to remove the material, and a boolean operation of remove is done in the part modeling. Friends, if you have understood this tutorial explanation, please like and share this video with your friends. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel and follow us on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. The links are in the description below. So friends, that's all for today in this tutorial. Thank you very much.